Hello, everyone. Afternoon, and welcome to another Let's Talk About It. This is not obviously just about my opinion on things that are going on at Blackpool Football Club. I want to know how you are feeling about everything at the moment. Are we excited? Are we worried? News keeps coming out, or no news keeps coming out on players, and people are messaging me all the time, showing concern. Some are really excited about it. Some are, not renewing the season tickets and that sort of thing. So let's have a quick little look at the chat and see what's been said so far. W&G fan says, after seeing Southport's match, my confidence is stable, but that will depend on the Leeds match this Thursday. Well, a lot of people said to me, yeah, we played okay at Southport. First half in particular, we played really, really well. It looked exciting. Sonny Carey looked great. Rob Apps looked really good. And of course, Bezla Bala was like having a new player signing for us. Second half, we weren't quite so dominant. And, a lot of people saying that Southport were not that stern of a test. So that doesn't really tell us anything. So I think we will find out more. And I agree with you when we play Leeds on Thursday. We'll be going. I was doing a video of it, so we can probably know a little bit more then. But last night I was doing the FVP, and a lot of people come in the comments, talking about Blackpool Football Club, and I can't always talk about it in there because we're talking about everybody else's club. So that's why I'm doing this today. I promised I would. John Haslam says, Callum Coyle says, yo, hello, Callum. John Haslam says the likes of Labala, Carey, Casey, and acted well at Southport, although it was maybe only a fitness exercise. Second half was abysmal. Yeah, it wasn't quite so good second half, was it? I've got to agree. It was not quite as good as the first. Rod Sloan says, have we bought anyone? No, I've not heard any news today. I don't know if anybody has or anybody will have done. I don't know, but I've not heard that we haven't bought anybody yet. We have renewed Matt Grimshaw's contract. He's extended his contract. It's about the best bit of good news we've heard so far. Connor Tiny is here. Hello, Connor. How are you doing? There's a Rotherham vlogger, by the way. We'll be going to Rotherham, see if we can get a better opinion of Rotherham this time. Steve Huntley says, hi. WG fan says, even though 8,000 tickets have been sold. John Haslam says that Reading are asking clubs to fix £20 for away fans. Is that good to sign up to that? Is that what you mean, John, there? Oh, Ryan's in. Hello, Ryan. I thought you were on holiday. Steve Huntley says, I know we've got a decent squad, but I'm concerned that we haven't strengthened yet. Well, that is the thing, isn't it? Matt Scrafton tweeted last week. I have put it in the bump on this video that we shouldn't be panicking just yet. There's no rush. We've got a great squad. A good squad of 25 already, and strength. Players will come in, and the transfer deadline window doesn't end till September. But I don't know. Did that fill you with a lot of confidence? Or are you confident that we can still be signing players as late as the 1st of September when this thing starts so early? Do we not want to get them in right now if we're getting them in and getting them bedded in? But having said that, we have got a decent squad. We saw how they played last year. We got rid of a lot of the dead wood towards the end of the season. And the players that we've got, I think, are pretty good. It depends on whether we keep Bowler and, which players we hold on to, if we keep hold of Keshi. But, I thought we had a decent team last season. I thought we gave some clubs a real fright. And I can't, we didn't seem to struggle that much only at the end. But, for the majority of the season, we were pretty good. Okay, season tickets, 8,000 season tickets. That's what you're saying, is it, W&G? Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit down on last season, isn't it? People are a little bit upset. I know a lot of people were upset about Appleton, you know what I mean? A lot of people, based on basically the first time he came and that he walked away so quickly. People are not happy about him, but we never really got a chance to see what he can do. And I've spoken to Oxford fans, I've spoken to Lincoln fans. They all love him. They all say he's a really good manager, and I don't think he's, unlike the last time he was here, he's not walking into a club in crisis. He's not walking into a team that's in disarray. It's not like a few years ago when I remember going to a pre-season with the Oystons and every single name on the sheet was a trialist, everyone from 1 to 11. So we had no idea who any of the players were. I remember us starting off that season and we couldn't even fill the bench. We could only, we didn't have a full bench of players. It was really embarrassing. We're not in that situation, and I think Critch left us in a better state than we were when he came. So I think any sort of decent manager should be able to take this team and take it forward. I would have thought. That's the way I'm seeing it at the moment, anyway. Ryan Dunbar says, can we have the Southport Ultras to do the Seagulls chasing at Bloomfield? They are good at running away. And yeah, I'm on holiday and still making time for you. Well, thank you very much for coming on your holiday, Ryan. That's unbelievable. But yeah, it was all a bit of a muchness, wasn't it, at Southport? People who were there, Southport fans came over, causing, deliberately to try and cause a little bit of trouble. Few Blackpool fans rushed them and they all ran off, really, from what I can see. I do see that a sort of a fence was kind of thrown at them a bit, I think, from what I can see. So there was a little bit of argy-bargy there, but it wasn't really much fighting going on. The edgy ones is here. Hello, Jord. He says the two we are close to signing are Premiership loans, according to Mr. Nixon. Well, that'd be interesting. Premier loans would be interesting, but is that, when we say Premier loans, it's supposed to be exciting? Would you be excited with another youngster from a Premier League team, or are we talking about proper Premier League players coming on loan? Don't know, do we? I wouldn't mind Ellis Sims back, of course. I'd love him back, and yeah. Maybe, but I don't know. I'd just like us to sign somebody, I suppose. Just a couple, I think, that's all. I don't think we need that many. I don't think it's that broken. John Gravel says, I'm confident. I believe we can buy one or two players, but only to replace ones that leave. We still have a strong squad. Could do with a constant goal scorer, though. Well, a consistent one, yeah. Definitely, but did you think they got the great service last year? Did Critch play the right kind of football for the strikers? I've mentioned it a few times to people when I've been chatting in the pubs, well, especially on Saturday. On Saturday, I was saying that, one of the problems that I felt with Critch was that if a striker scored another goal, if he got one and then he got two, it'd just take him off. He wouldn't let him get a hat-trick. So where was the incentive for strikers to try and get 2-3 goals? Because they knew they'd be hoiked off the minute they got two. Stephen Huntley says, thing is, if Apples doesn't get off to a good start, he's going to cop a lot of flack from the fans. Yeah, I think pretty much he has to start off well. I think if he's, if we're struggling at the start, there's going to be a lot of fans on his back because, I can see there is a lot not happy about him. Seasound 52 says, highly, any news on Gabriel? I heard Happy said he's injured, but he's suspicious by his absence. I think I heard that he is almost recovered from his injury and probably a week away, I think they said. I think I heard. Either read or something, but I think he's not far away. Blue Terrier 19 says, hello. Says, you can't judge Appleton based on what he did with them clowns in charge. Well, you can't really. No, I mean, he really did, and he said it in what he said when he came to the club, that when he came here with the Oystons, the club was just in a real big mess. The Oystons didn't give him anything like what they promised him when he came to join, and he just kind of just saw it as an absolute nightmare and just, left more or less before he'd even started. And I don't think you can judge him on that. He has said in his interviews that he's come back to Bloomfield Road as a manager with other teams, seen the atmosphere, thought, Jesus, this is nothing like it was when I was here the first time. The place is bouncing, the fans are amazing. And he did say that it was the right club at the wrong time last time, and this time he thinks it's the right club at the right time. So, I wish him well. I don't really blame him for walking away at that time, because we all walked away as well in the end, because they were just, they just got worse and worse and worse. What do I think about safe standing? I like it. I think it's a good thing, and I think a lot of people want to stand, and if they can all stand in a place where they're safe and somewhere that, that's specifically for people to stand, then it solves all the problems of people standing in front of people that don't want to stand. And that is, to me, that is a big problem, where a lot of Blackpool fans will stand near the front, just in front of people, and just stand up the whole game and won't sit down, and people are sat down. And I think if you want to stand, you should be either near the back or you should be in a place where people can stand, and I think it's a good thing. Gaming Whale says, "Hi Lee, Southport was a good game. First half, second half we were slow, but I feel that Appleton is the right man for the job, depending on how we do in coming games." Well, I've kind of got to agree with you. I thought the second half was pretty poor, but we didn't particularly break a sweat. I kind of thought that the way he'd set it up, the first half team that came on were like the kind of the trialists, and the second half team were what he was looking at as his main team. And I didn't think that second half team did half as good as the team that came out in the first. And I just wonder what Appleton thought of that, because the first half. But he also did say that he played two different styles of football. He wanted to see how we played when we played really attacking, and he wanted to see if we could defend and play a sort of a more defensive role. So it was maybe him experimenting just to see how good we are in defence, looking at what we need to strengthen, and maybe that was the test of the game. So I'm not looking too much into that, if I'm being honest. I just saw when we were attacking that we looked really, really dangerous. So, and I also agree with you. I think it's not even a fact of me thinking that Appleton is the man for the job. I just think an experienced manager is the man for the job. Somebody with experience can take what Critch did with a lack of experience and improve on it. Because I thought Critch was great. I kind of bought into him because I thought he was going to be here for years and years to come. He was going to develop all the academy, and everything was going to be kind of a bit Liverpoolish. And I have to say that although I loved him to bits, a lot of the times he frustrated me so much. I hated the way he would change a winning team. We watched some superb performances at Bloomfield Road. We were steamrolling teams. It could have been 3, 4, 5 at half time, and we just couldn't score a goal. And then we'd win maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2-0, but we battered them basically. And then he changed everything and say we go away to Birmingham and just play like a bunch of duck eggs, really, and just get beat by a lot of kids. And I just thought that used to annoy me. I used to think his substitutions were a bit on the, scaredy cat side, where he'd be starting to think, we've got a 1-0 lead, let's hold on to it for 10 minutes. And it was just like the Alamo coming at us, and I didn't enjoy that at all. And there's lots of times, I didn't really, really enjoy the football we were playing. And I've heard that Appleton likes to get the ball fast, really forward to the forwards, and I'm sure all the forwards at Blackpool are thinking, this sounds, a lot better than what it's been under Critch. And I've also heard that the players are really happy with Appleton. There's a really good vibe around the training ground and the dressing rooms, and I think that's a good sign, because I think all these players, you can see they've got quite a strong bond with each other. You could see it from the videos that Blackpool put out, or on the first few days of coming back to training. They look very happy to be here. Didn't look to be any miserable faces, and I think we've got rid of all that sort of trouble element that were within the group. And I think this lot are very strong, and I think we will be fine. I honestly can't see. I can only see us actually being better this year than we were last year. Let me just go back up a bit because there's been a few more comments. Archer did pretty well. Yes, he did do very well, True Red. He did do very well. Players do well on loan, but I was thinking, they were talking about we're going to get really, really excited about these signings, and I don't see a loan, unless it's a really decent Premier League player, as exciting as actually signing somebody who is exciting. Colin Hickman says, "Hello, hi mate. I think Blackpool will have a great season up the pool. I think we will as well." James Anderson says, "Am I the only one awaiting news on the kit? I know a fair few clubs are yet to announce theirs also, but it seems really close to the season starting now. You would think they'd have it out a little bit quicker, wouldn't you? It's these sort of things that start to build the hype, but there's still time yet to get the kits out. I hope they bring out the home kit and the away kit at the same time. There's no delays. I hope they have enough shirts for everybody who wants to buy one." Mark Keane says, "Hi Lee, I have just got my tickets for the Reading game." Okay, that's a decent, easy start. Well, you think it is a bit of an easy start. Reading were very poor last year when they came, and that was the back end of the season with Paul and Tom Ince, and I don't know. I just think it's a chance for us to get a good win early on. Eugene McGeever seems to think that Appleton will get some Lincoln City players in this summer transfer window. Do you think he will? Do you think, I don't know, are Lincoln City players who haven't been playing in the Championship, who, didn't do so well in League One last year, are they good enough? Are they the kind of players we want? Or would you want, do we want to be signing players that are good enough to play in the Premier League? Which is, to me, Paul Leaper says, when is the new shirt out? Don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. Shane Benjamin says, highly after Southport, do you think we'll see a lot more front three attacking football? Hope so. I thought that first half was very encouraging. For anybody who's just joined, I was just saying that first half and second half, Appleton played two different teams, and he also played two different styles. And I think he was looking at the team from an attacking perspective in the first half and from a defensive perspective in the second half. And I think he was just trying to see what he had and how good we were. And I think he will have learned a lot from the Southport game. Rodney Bint says there's no rush to sign new players. Based on what exactly, Rodney? Based on the fact that you think that we've got a good enough team already, that we can pick up good players, later on, that we're not missing out on all the, all these players that are being signed. What's the reason for it? Obviously, there's normally it's a good idea, and Blackpool have over the last few seasons, they've done their business early. This year, we're not doing it early at all. Mark Keane says, I think we'll have a good plan B. That is what Appleton did at Oxford. Well, it would be good to see, because Critch, I didn't think, had much of a plan B, and he looked a bit clueless to change things. He did occasionally change things, and it worked in our favour. I'm looking back to probably the Fulham, the Fulham game in particular, away from home, where, unfortunately, the fan had the heart attack. But up to that point where they stopped the game, the first 11 or 12 minutes, I thought we were going to get battered. I'll be honest, we just looked like lambs to slaughter, rabbits in headlights. They were all over us. That break came. It was a 40-minute break, and we came out a different team, and Critch must have said something or done something. He didn't change anything, but whatever was said in that 40-minute break, Blackpool came out a fantastic side, and we should have beat Fulham at Fulham. So, he did have times when he did change the game and affect things, but often his substitutions, I thought, were terrifying sometimes. We just went, it was awful. What, you're hanging on, almost looking at the game, behind your hands. Oh my God, I can't watch any more of this. We're going to concede. And occasionally we did. And it was horrendous when we did. Stephen Roberts says, I'll be at York on Thursday. Okay, so will we. We'll see you there. Anybody else who's going towards, to York, we'll see you there. Also, I think, unlike Critch, Appleton will let rip in the dressing room. He does look a bit scary and muscly, and Critch was a bit of a too nice a guy, would you think? I don't know what he was like exactly. Gaming Wales says Critchley was good, but I felt that we didn't play the right way. Not enough attacking football, too much ball retention, and the subs did get a bit ridiculous bringing players on a hat-trick off. Yes, totally agree with you on all of that, yeah. Stephen Roberts said the first bad run, I think fans will be on his case. I know they're already on his case at Southport coming out because he didn't come over and applaud the fans, but I was thinking, in my own mind, I'm thinking, well, if he's reading everything that's being said about him at the moment, it's no wonder he did come over to fans, to be honest. Even, and there was a bit of fighting, so maybe he didn't feel like it. Will you be at York when we play Leeds? Yes, I will. We will be there. Both Jane and I will be there. We're going to do a football tourist guide as well. We're going to be there for the day. Lee Blaber said, I thought it was good to see Appleton give Bez a chance. He took his headed goal very well. Yes, he did. I think it's good as well. He's looking at the team from fresh eyes, and maybe some of the players that didn't seem to be favourites with Critch may get their chance. Mark Keane says Appleton will get the ball forward quick, not passing around the back. I would love to see that. I'd love to see attacking football. I hate all the passing around the back. I know he does do a bit of passing around the back, but not like as much as we used to. I mean, again, going back to the games we watched last season, QPR away. I mean, it was just painful, wasn't it? The whole thing was down to 10 men after about 40 minutes, and we played the whole second half more or less in our own half and let them score with 10 men. It was awful. Stephen Roberts says we are 4-1 to go down. Very generous. I don't think we are going down. Yes, now Steve, somebody did actually mention in the comments, and we don't know if it's true because people post things And they're not always true, but they did say that the two exciting players coming in are fallen through. So I don't know if anybody's heard any more on that, but somebody did mention that last night. Peter Barnes says, "Do you think Maxwell should be captain?" He is. He's very he's very vocally strong, and he's a very experienced player. And when he came over, you probably saw my Southport video. He came over to where we were standing. He was, be the bigger man and all that sort of stuff. And he was very commanding in the way he talked. But I personally, I don't think a goalkeeper is the best place to have a captain. I always think it needs to be one of your centre halves or midfielder captain. I don't like a striker as captain, and I'm not a big fan of a goalie captain, if I'm being honest. W&G fan says just because he comes from Lincoln doesn't mean he'll appoint only Lincoln players. No, it doesn't. Stephen Roberts also said, I think just about survive relegation. Worst teams out there, thank God. I think we'll do better than that this season. I'm hoping we improve on last season. Stephen Holt says, highly with the players we have from last season still together, I think we'll be okay, but perhaps a class midfielder. The team looked in great shape pre-season training. Now, talking about class midfielders, and I've said this a few times, I think Sonny Carey he's going to be probably sold for the most money we've ever sold a player for. I think he has so much potential. I think in that game against Huddersfield where he got injured and went off, in that game, we lost Gabriel as well, but in that game away at Huddersfield, he was looking fantastic. And I was so upset he got injured, and I hope his injury's, absolutely clear now. And I hope he goes on to show us this year just how good a midfielder that he is. Oh, Conor Bashall says, yeah, he's a white. Yeah, all right, Conor. Agent Appleton, yes, I get it. End of the day, Simon Wallet controls Appleton's choice of new players, says John Gradwell. Well, it does, yeah. It absolutely does. It's what Simon Sadler can afford, and we know he's not going to get us into some sort of stupid financial trouble, unlike what we keep reading about from the Nobbers, who seem to just keep getting deeper and deeper into financial trouble, which is quite funny to watch. Lee agrees with me about the Fulham match. Yeah, something was said, wasn't it? And we were a far better club. Tin Pot Club, says Connor, the mighty Preston North End fan there. Calling us Tim Pot, and who are you, Preston North End? Jeez. Callum Cole says hello. I've already said hi. Mark Keane says QPR game away was bad last season. It was awful, absolutely awful. John Grabwell has a feeling we will keep Bowler until January. I'd like to still see him here. I really would. John Haslam says, I'm looking forward to seeing Carey and Apter against Leeds, all being well. I am really looking forward to seeing. In fact, I'm really excited. I've already said about Carey, and I thought Rob Apter's looked really good every time I've seen him play. I think he's going to be. I think he will break through. I think he's another exciting player. Stephen Roberts said we need to offload a few. Who, Callum? I keep saying hi to you. I don't know what you're not seeing or hearing, but I keep saying hi. Stephen Roberts says we need to offload a few before signs. We have a huge squad. Who would you offload? Who do you want to get rid of? Paul Chris says it's not surprising over the season we have lost some good players to the Championship because we could not afford to keep them. It's not a replacement. Bring on the new season. That's Paul. That's Paul is from. Just remind me where you're from, Paul. Mine's gone blank. Stoke. He's Stoke. I think he's Stoke. Just remind me, Paul. The True Red says strange. Topic to bring up, but do you think with the clubs having coloured seats that have now, like Lincoln with the green seats to do with the club, is becoming a problem in the long term? Well, we don't have that problem at Bloomfield Road because all our seats are tangerine. So I don't know. I suppose it's a problem if you've got lots of empty seats like they have at Deepdale. Then yes, it could be a problem. But if all your grounds mainly sold out, all you see is the fans in the colours anyway. So I don't know about that one, if that's really affects things. John Grabble says, where will Jake Daniels be on Saturday? Don't know. I don't know if he's ready yet, but he is another exciting prospect. Callum says no more hoofball. Yeah, we did play a bit of hoof under Critch, didn't we? A lot of passing it back and hoof. I just want to see some really nice football, and I have done another video on this. For everybody to try and prevent all this hysteria that's going on at the moment, where I spoke to Jake Tong from the Stacey West podcast, the Lincoln City podcast, and he was telling me he loved the brand of football. He said he just plays a fantastic brand of football. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to see. And if it was anything like what we saw in the first half at Southport, that was great football. I thought it was corner after corner after corner. We're all over him. And, we could have had 4 or 5, really, to be honest. We hit the crossbar. There was a couple of shots that just flashed past the goalkeeper. There was one where they blocked, a shot that was going in, and they just hung on really in that first half. I thought it was very exciting, but of course it was only Southport, so we'll see against Leeds how we do. Stephen Robertson, I think we should be having this discussion in November. We'll have a better idea by then. Yeah, exactly. But I just, there's so many people messaging me, and some are excited, some are really not excited at all, and are quite vocal about the fact they're not renewing season tickets, and it's all going to go pear-shaped, and we're going to be going down, all this sort of stuff. And I just wanted to just chat with you guys and see if that was the feeling with everybody, whether you're all feeling that way. Steve Huntley says, I think Big Marv should be captain. Callum, I have said hi to you so many times. Please just don't keep saying hi to me. That's pointless. Portsmouth home and away. How do you think Blackpool will go this season? Well, that's what we're chatting now, really. How we think we're going to do. I'm confident. I feel that we're going to be okay. And but there's a few that don't. A few that don't think we're going to do well at all. Yeah, it's okay, Callum. You got the message now. I've said hello to you quite a lot of times. Rodney Bent says, Leeds game, we will see how good we are without signing new players. Yeah, it'll be a good test, providing that Leeds do put out a good team. I have heard it's going to be Leeds' first team, and they're off on their travels abroad after that. So I hope it's going to be, if we are playing a strong Leeds team, it will really tell us, whereabouts we are. John Grabble says Maxwell was great on Saturday, especially with the kids for photos, etc. Some other players were really miserable. At a friendly, it's really hard to take a photo with a fan of the club. Was disappointed. Were they miserable? I didn't try to take their pictures. I don't know. Maybe they weren't happy about the fighting that had gone on. Maybe that had upset them. Was that at the end or before? Mark Keane says that Reece James is not up to this level. So do you all agree with that? Is he not? The one game I think of Reece James where he played really well was away at Millwall last season, where he had to cover right back, I think it was. I think we had to cover right back, his left back, didn't he? And we lost Connolly, and he had to shift over to right back, and he had the game of his life. He was unbelievable. He played so well. Who's this? Ian says, tell you what, Lee, that somebody can throw a ball in. Okay, what a weapon. Who's that, Thorm? Not quite sure there what you mean, Ian. Just maybe that's a typo or something. John hasn't said, I find the passing from Maxwell out of defence is dangerous at times. Can't say I worry too much about him. He does have the odd, blooper, but so does Grimshaw. I don't think any goalkeeper passes out all the time well. I kind of like Maxi, to be honest. I still think he's a good goalie. I think Reece James needs to head out. His passing is very questionable, and again, this was seen at Southport. Okay, maybe Reece James is one that we need to ship out. He hasn't really established himself, and it's a shame because he came from Doncaster Rovers, didn't he? And Doncaster Rovers were really, I think he was their player of the year quite a few times. They love him there. So I'm surprised he hasn't done as well as... but then again, we had Dujon Sterling. I mean, he's another example, isn't he? Dujon Sterling of a player from the Premier League that I would have back. I thought he was amazing. And I thought when we lost Dujon Sterling and Gabriel just at that time when we did, just after the international break, both got injured. I think that ruined it for us. Oh, Lincoln Imps. Yes, of course, Paul. Yes, you are. Sorry, Paul, about that. I was trying to think what red and white was. Appleton has a season ticket on the town end. Does he really, Harry? That's great to know. Thank you very much. Paul, Chris, yep, you're all from Lincoln. Yes, of course. Okay, so that makes sense. Grant Tuff says, "Hi Lee, hope you're well. I'm optimistic. Once we sign 4 to 5 players, we'll finish 7 to 12. That's what I'd like to see, anyways." Is that, are you thinking 4 to 5 permanent signings, or is loans included in that? Because I don't see us signing 4 to 5 at the moment. I don't think we will. I really don't. We may do, but I doubt it. Steve Downer says Rangers are expected to have around 7,000 fans for the upcoming friendly. Do you think it will be a full house? Will it be a full house for Rangers? But I don't think it will be. I really don't. I think it'll be a good attendance. I think it'll be pretty good. But whether we'll sell out, we'll see. I'd like to see it sold out. They've moved our tickets as well. We had tickets and they've moved us. We were sitting on the halfway line right by the bench, but apparently it's been expanded or something, so they've moved us. Mark Keane says, I think we'll be okay this season with a mid-table finish. I think we could do higher. I think we're going to surprise a few people again. Tony Allen says, if you don't have confidence at the start of the season, that can start on ease with the fans, which may manifest adversely during the run into Christmas. Well, absolutely. It's all about confidence, isn't it? We need to get off to a flying start, and we need to get behind Appleton. I think, we need to get behind him. We're Blackpool fans, and we make lots of noise, and we've just got to get behind him. It's really important. We have the ability to affect how the team play, and I think we need to be well behind them. Portsmouth home and away says, I think Blackpool finished lower mid-table. Well, that would be more or less a repeat of what Critch did. So many would take that for now, especially as we're investing more in our training ground than we are. It's already been announced than we are throwing money at the team. Right. Stephen Roberts says, I'd lose Medine. Stewart could be injured. Well, Stewart, yeah, it's just frustrating. Now he's got some problem, hasn't he? Again, stress fractures or something. He just never plays, does he? And it's a shame because he's a good player. Keogh for captain in the last season, yeah, maybe. I could agree with that. Bowler will be gone and get Beasley alongside Yates. Well, he's injured at the moment, isn't he? Beasley's another one that's injured. He's got stress fractures as well. So again, it's a shame. Tony Allen says Rangers will be entertaining with the orange horde heading south to the seaside. Okay, yeah, Rangers. It should be a really exciting game. Harry Wake says, why was there no fans group at the Armfield Club meeting where Mansfield, Garrity and Apps attended? I don't know, Harry. It was something. Well, they would have had the muckers there, wouldn't they? Because most of them in there were the muckers. I don't think they wanted to do a full sort of thing. Don't get me started on the meeting at the Armfield Club. I didn't see the point of it. It's just another thing where they just really don't want to engage with things that they could engage with. But I won't say anything more on that. Paul Robinson says, be interesting who Apple starts up front as his preferred striker and as Marv's centre-back partner. It will be interesting to see, won't it? Because definitely it's going to be interesting, the front lineup. I mean, I thought Jerry Yates again, he just can't buy a goal, can he? He was everywhere. He was just couldn't get, they didn't give him a good ball. And I didn't think Lavery looked, he didn't really play that, he didn't rip up trees for me at Southport, but did he get a lot of service? And Gary Medine, again, did he get a lot of service? I can't, I like Jerry Yates. I just wish he'd get a goal. Stephen Huntley said, is Maxey still on Everton's radar? I don't think so. I don't think he is. I don't know if that was true or whether it was just made up. W&G fans says, can you advertise Beezer at the Blackpool Supporters Association? Well, yeah, we do. Whenever we go on the coaches, we tend to go with Beezer, but we are going to maybe try, there's other coaches as well as Beezer, and we try and support everybody who's a Blackpool fan. But yeah, if you're wanting to travel, it's great with Blackpool Supporters Association. They, it's a good day. They go to a pub beforehand, and it's not too expensive. Save you a lot of money. It's, sometimes you have to set off a bit early in the morning, but it is a great day, and they're a great crowd, really friendly, and it's really good on a coach. I've got to say, there's a lot goes on a coach. There's, draws and all this sort of stuff, and it's just it's a good vibe, and there's a lot of nice people on the coaches. So yeah, I'm happy to advertise Beezer for you. Farm was the right back in the second half. Oh, was he? So, was he the number 4? 'Cause was he the lad from Southport that we signed last year that we gave back to them on loan? Because he looks quite big, doesn't he? I didn't notice his throw-ins actually, but yeah, we could do with somebody who can really throw a ball in. So he's the new lad from Southport, isn't he, that we signed last year, I think? Got that right? Mark Keane says, "Get Ellis Sims back." Oh my God, wouldn't you just like that? Paul Robertson's get on the BLT. Wait, is that bacon lettuce tomorrow? George Fenton says Corey, Apter, and Virtue are going to flourish under Appleton all love getting forward and suit Appleton's play style. Well, yeah, I agree with you there, George. I think that is exciting, and I hope he does play them. I thought it was a shame that Sonny Carey got injured last season. I've already mentioned it. Huddersfield, he was just getting, he's just getting going, and I think he's gonna be a really great player. He excites me. I think Rob Apter. I was surprised that he came on against Wigan. If you remember, we beat Wigan 5-0 when Ellis Sims was here, and we were 3-0 up, and he came on for the last like 5 or 6 minutes, and he had a few corners. We scored from him. He looks a really good player. I went down to the game last season, pre-season. I'm going to be going tonight, by the way, to AFC Blackpool. I went to Squires Gate last season, and he played there. Rob Apter we beat him 7-0, and he played. He just stood out. He was such a good player. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they play tonight down at AFC Blackpool. It's well worth going. AFC Blackpool needs your support. They're another local team. I like them down there. It's a good crowd. It's a decent little ground, and you'll get to see some of the young kids and the young ones coming through. And I'm kind of looking forward to that tonight. So I will be there. If you come along, if you're going, say hello to me. And yeah, Matty Virtue as well. He's another one, but I think Critch like Matty Virtue as well. It's just the fact that he was, injured all the time. He just had that massive injury that he got at Lincoln. Unfortunately, was it Lincoln? He got stretchered off. Can't remember where he went off actually, but yeah, was it Oxford? Can't remember now. But anyway, it was a bad injury, bad cruciate injury, and I just hope he's back to being as good as he was, because I think he's a cracking player, and I think he can score some great goals as well for us from midfield, which is something we do need. Up the mighty Pool from Northern Ireland. He's coming over for the Swansea matches, is Malcolm. Great to hear. Stephen Huntley says, is the Leeds game on BFC's YouTube channel? I imagine it will be. I would think it will be. Yeah, it was Oxford, Mark. Yeah, Oxford where he got injured, yeah. Harry Wake says, don't think there has ever been a manager under so much pressure coming into the new season. Whether he feels it yet, I don't know. I get the feeling, when you hear him talk, he's a very confident manager, confident in his own ability, confident in the way he plays football. I think he's done well everywhere he's gone. He's really, unfortunately, he didn't have a great season at Lincoln last season, but a lot can be, that can be put down to the playoff hangover, I suppose, and also the fact that, he had testicular cancer, which, must have really taken the stuffing out of him. So I'm taking this season out of all the other seasons. I mean, Oxford fans loved him. Lincoln fans really did love him. He was doing really well at Portsmouth, wasn't it, when he came to us, and they were in a car crash. He seems to be able to work at clubs with a low budget, and I don't think he'll have walked into a job with such a good squad and such a good feeling, and a club that are ambitious, because we are ambitious. The board, no matter what you say about Simon Sadler and Ben Maspin, everyone, they're ambitious, and they want to see this club move forward. They're not like the Oystons, and they have, from what I've seen so far, they've been pretty good at backing the manager, getting signings in. They're doing lots of work to the ground, the training ground's on the way, and I think everything's really positive at Blackpool. I don't see it going backwards. I can't even imagine us going backwards, because I just don't think they'll allow it. We're a club that's on the rise, and I think that's going to continue. And I think they did. They didn't. They took the time over appointing this manager, and I think they're impressed with him, and I think we will be too. I really do. Stephen Roberts says Ellie Sims back would be good. Sterling back would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Yeah, God, wasn't he a good player, Dujon Sterling? I loved him, and I thought when I like Jordan Gabriel as well. He's one of my favourite players. I think he's a fantastic right back. I think he's really hard to get round. He's got so much pace. I think he drives the ball forward as well. So I hope he's back from injury. But when we had to, obviously there was the injury with the left back, and we had to move Dujon Sterling over onto the left, and we had Dujon on the left and Gabriel on the right. We looked fantastic, and I thought we were going to make the playoffs at that time. And then, of course, they both got injured, and I think that ruined it for us. Stephen Roberts says Rangers fans are getting overexcited about pre-season nonsense. They love coming to Blackpool, don't they? Anybody from Glasgow loves coming to Blackpool. Any excuse to come to Blackpool for a bit of a holiday. It's a little break. It's a fantastic place to come. We all know it's just it's built for fun, isn't it? I always say, if you can't come to Blackpool and have a good time, then there's something wrong with you, not us, because it's just built for having a good time. And I'm sure, Scots, people from Glasgow have always come to Blackpool, and they love it down here. It feels quite a few degrees warmer for them, so they find it's a bit like going abroad when they come to Blackpool. So yeah, I'm sure they're all really excited. And of course, they had a great season last season. I know they didn't win the league, but they had a European final, which did sound a bit horrendous to how they were treated out there, but they must be buzzing for it this season, and I'm sure. I'm looking. I don't expect us to beat Rangers. I'm being honest. I think they're a really good side. So if they bring a first team down, we're probably guaranteed we're going to get beat. But I just want us to put up a good show against them and play some good football and not be completely overawed by them. John Haslam says Banj was well thought of at one time, seems to have gone off the radar. Yes, he does. He doesn't seem to have really made the step up, has he? Seaside of 52 says, I would like to see more of Labala. He looked really strong and direct. Yes, he did. And I felt a little bit like it was like having signed a new player, because he's been out of the team for a long time due to all the problems that he had. I was surprised. I thought he'd gone, if I'm being honest. I thought we'd let him go. But it seems like he's still here, and he did look a good. I've liked him when I've seen him. When Jane and I were doing the watch-alongs, I like the look of him. I think he's one of those players that you're never quite sure what he's going to do. He's hard to read, and sometimes he does cock himself up doing too many fancy things. But I think he's a talent. Stephen Roberts says, do we need to question Appleton's training if we're already losing players? Is it Appleton's training or the training ground that loses players? Because we lose players to injuries all the time at Blackpool. And I think until we get a proper training ground sorted, I think we're always going to come up against injuries. Although they have done a lot of work, down at the training ground, and it was amazing to see they've actually got the training ground sponsored. I was like, could you imagine that in the sort, in Oyster World, where we'd actually get somebody would be prepared to, put their name to the training ground, like the worst training ground in the country, really, an absolute, just a disgrace of a training ground it's been. But obviously the work that they've done down there, bringing it all up to, a decent specification, is actually, somebody's actually put the name on it and sponsored it. So flipping heck, I'd love to go down and film it for you all guys and let you all see what it's like. I'd love to see it myself. John Fothergill said the Leeds game is only £5, so get yourself down. Yeah, it's only £5 to go, but York is quite a way to go, so it's quite a distance. So we'll be going, obviously, but yeah, £5 ticket, it's not bad, is it? Mark Keane says give Labala a go. It's free. It's free. Yeah, absolutely. We've already got him. So if he's any good and improves the team, if you think if we got Sonny Carey playing really well, we've got Bez Labala playing really well. Rob Apter came in and did something. That could be three good players there. We're going to be getting we're bound to get some loans. We always do, and apparently Appleton's really good with the loan market. So I was a little bit disappointed with Critch and his Liverpool connections, if I'm being honest, that we didn't get any Liverpool players on loan. I thought that would have been a thing, but it didn't happen. So I was disappointed with him in that as well. Just while I'm knocking him, the snake, as everybody keeps saying he is. Shane Benjamin says they have done a lot of work on the training ground. They have, and I hope the injuries are not still down to the problems with the training ground. Players do get injured. It's just one of them things. They've all been on holiday. They've not been training for quite a few weeks, and they come back and maybe they just didn't warm up properly or whatever. But it is disappointing when we get injuries early on. Seaside of 52 says, let's hope that Labala gets a run against Leeds and Rangers. That will give us a better idea. Absolutely. We can't judge anybody just based on Southport, because we all know that that wasn't top quality opposition. We should learn a bit more with the upcoming games, really. I would think. I don't know about you, but there's some good games coming up. We've got some tough tests coming up, and I think we'll know a lot more about it and about the team in a few weeks' time. So I hope we're all more positive, or I hope you're all kind of feeling kind of positive. I am positive. I'm not. I can see it going well under Appleton. And I think we will sign people, and I just think we've got a decent squad anyway. Why is the Leeds game being played at York? I think it's being played at York because Leeds are doing some work on the ground and they can't play at Leeds. I don't know what it's to do with the pitch or whatever, but I think that's why they're playing it at York. It was a strange one. Maybe we didn't want all the games at Bloomfield Road. Right, Michael is finally here. Hello, Michael. Personally, still think the club is living in an era where they don't want to spend money to bring the right players into the club. What are your thoughts, Lee? I don't think we're ever going to be in a world of spending lots of money, Michael. It's Blackpool. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. It doesn't get me down. I'm used to it. I'm used to us not spending loads of money. In fact, what's our biggest signing ever? DJ Campbell, 1.2 million or whatever it was, and we got our money back for him. So when we sold him, because of the release clause in his contract, and I just don't ever see Blackpool FC, unless we get in the Premier League and use somebody else's money, signing players on millions and millions and millions. However, I've watched Blackpool a long time, and we have had some great success without spending loads of money. We've got in the Premier League without spending lots of money. The years between 2000 and 2010 were, really in our history were an amazing 10 years. We didn't spend any money then. We got to LDV finals, we got to playoff finals, and we got to Premier League, all spending absolute bobbins. So I don't see it the way I saw it before. We haven't got owners that, for want of a better word, piss players off. I interviewed Keegan Parker, and he was devastated when he scored the winner at Wembley, and then was offered less money than he was on in League One to play in the Championship, which really upset him. And that's how the Oysons were. They just were abysmal, and we haven't got those owners anymore. They're signing players on good contract. There's a very happy vibe within the group. They're a team that are all together, and we all know as Blackpool fans, if we have a squad that is together and fans that are together, and we make lots of noise and we cheer them on, and they're all happy and they play, and the manager sticks with a winning team, we can do anything. So no, Michael, I'm not feeling it anything like you at all. I don't see it as a downer. I'm really excited about this season. I could be proved totally wrong, and it could all go pear-shaped, and you could be right. And I hope you're not right, and I hope I am right. But I just don't feel the way you're feeling at all about it at the moment. I'm pretty excited about it. Also, for me and Jane, we have, and me particular, started this channel to kind of promote Blackpool football, get Blackpool Football Club, get bums back on seats, get people interested. That's what I did at the start when I was interviewing former. I hadn't done any of this before. I interviewed Tony Green and Eamon O'Keefe, and I went down and did pitch updates, and I went down to the training ground, and I did all these things to get people excited again about going back to Blackpool. And I am all about really trying to see the positives and try and be positive about things. I will kick off eventually if things are really bad, but for the most part, I'm trying to encourage people to go and watch Blackpool Football Club games and encourage there to be a vibe around the town about the football club that I followed all my life and what I love, and it's what I love. And I'm Tangerine. If you cut me in half, I'm a sticker rock with Blackpool, written through. So I'm positive. I can't be negative. I have to be positive, and I have to remain positive on this channel as much as I can. Jamie Jones says Brad Holmes needs a chance, in my opinion. Maybe he does. He did look okay. He's a big lad, and he did. Maybe he will get his chance. Harry Wakes says Apps is the loner ranger. Yes, agree. Brad does deserve a chance. Yeah, Appleton is very good in the loan market, so let's see. John Haslam said, yeah, surprisingly, the sprinklers were a legacy of the Premier League. We have them on the training ground now, so things are looking up. Yes, we will be able to. Yeah, I'm good. John, you're talking about the game tonight at AFC Blackpool. Yeah, I will be going down there. If any of you are going, I'll see you there. Come say hello. Yes. The true wrestlers can't wait to go to Bloomfield Road again to have a try of these chicken biryanis. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Jane is she loves curries. She is pretty particular about curries. She suffers a poor curry lightly, and she had these to Blackburn Rovers and was raving about how good they were. And we went down to the video, and she tried them again, and they're just fantastic. If you, I'm not. I don't like it. I don't like curries at all. But Jane is. And she says they're fantastic. You get a lot as well for £5. It's like you could probably have half of it and save the rest, microwave it, and have it for your tea as well, because it's a full meal. So it takes some getting through. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. I think it's just another thing, isn't it, that they're improving all the time. They're trying to improve things all the time. They do things to the ground that I would do as a fan. I want sorting out, and I like him. I really do. There's quite a few comments coming in again now. Sorry, let me just go back. Steve Huntley says, I know it sounds harsh, but I hope Gerrard gets a sack and Critch loses his job. So do I, Steve. Doesn't sound harsh at all. So do I. Absolutely. Kissing his badge for all that and then leaving us for the first girl that blinked her eyes at him. Pathetic. WG fans says, hope Bowler gets a better shape. Do you mean a better sort of like shape in the team, or he needs to get into better shape himself? Not sure. Yeah, Seaside of 52 says a big price target is usually accompanied with big wages. Yes, it is. And we've always done this thing where we don't want to rock the boat and have prima donnas coming in and affecting everybody else. So there is method to the madness, and I think it works well. I think, football is a team game. And I think if you've got a really good squad, a good, strong squad, it is, tight squad, it can just do miracles. And I think with Blackpool fans, I truly believe that we're one of the best sets of fans in the league. I think we punch way above our weight noise-wise. We went to every game last season. There wasn't one single ground that sounded anything like Bloomfield Road, not even close. Coventry was good. They're raving about how good they are at home. It was garbage compared to Bloomfield Road. Nothing compares to the atmosphere that we create at Bloomfield Road. And provided we get behind the manager and back him, I think, he can do well. Michael's back as well. What else now is he not happy about? Michael says, also personally don't think that Medine, Yates or Lavery are answer to scoring enough goals in the Championship. They're simply not Championship standard. What are your thoughts? Again, I don't think we played the right game for him. I don't think Critchley, I think he changed him around. I think Lavery was unlucky with the injury when he was just playing really, really well. I thought Critch was always chopping and changing. Didn't like the way he took players off when they scored 2 goals. Never gave him a chance to get 3 goals. I didn't see any incentive for him to get to score another goal, because they know they'd be hoiked off the minute they got one. I didn't think the team played to the strengths of our strikers. I didn't think they got the ball enough, and I don't blame the strikers for the lack of goals. I just don't think we had that drive in midfield, and I thought we were getting it with Sonny Carey, and unfortunately got injured. Stewart makes a difference. He got injured. So, no, I think these strikers could do really well if they got good service. Um, Harry says we've got our club back through signing Charlie and Vaughan. Yeah, they were great signings. Bellicon made all the difference, didn't he? It was not the Oysons. He made a difference. But again, they weren't. Charlie Adam and David Vaughan were not superstars. You never heard of him. No, I can remember when, we went to Aston Villa and, we got fined for it. And they were saying, they changed too many players. But there wasn't a single player in our squad that was any better than anybody else. We didn't have any superstars. You could have played any combination of those 25. They were all much of a muchness, just unknowns, and they all became stars through the Premier League, but they weren't stars before they signed for Blackpool. Shane Benjamin said, I think the investment in the new training facilities development for young squads and the overall investment in the longevity of the club is a positive enough step so far. Can't agree with you any more than that, Shane. Totally agree with you. It's all good for me. Geordie Coleman is here, up the pool. Can't wait for the new season. Michael Preston says, think we will have quality this year like Coventry did following their first season back. I also think that this squad will do better in a 4-3-3. Are you listening, Michael Appleton? Hope you are. That's what we think. John says, do you think Grimshaw will now be number one keeper? I don't know. That's for the manager to decide, I suppose. And I'm sure he'll be trying them both out over the pre-season. Mark Keane says we are going to Reading, Middlesbrough, Preston home, West Brom, Coventry, and QPR away. Okay. Paul Chris says, Haley, will you be covering the England matches on YouTube? Yeah, we'll be doing watch-alongs for the England games, putting ourselves through it. So look out for that. Jane and I will be doing the watch-alongs again for the England games. We're quite looking forward to that, to be honest. It's a World Cup. I need to win one. Here we are. Steve Downer says, thanks, Critch. Did a great job for us, but why has there been no message from you to the great supporters since you left? Classes, in my opinion. Well, I think I've just read something about that Critch cannot say anything as he's now under contract with Aston Villa until the Aston Villa media team come back from their holidays, and they're not yet. So he's not allowed to say anything, and he's bursting to send us a message. So read into that as you will, but if that's the truth and he can't say anything at the moment because he's under contract with Villa, then that explains why. Still doesn't take away the fact that he should never have left. I think it was shocking that he signed a 4.5-year contract and then just went straight away. I think it was awful, especially with the way he was kissing the badge and all the rest of it. But yeah, I think he will send us a message, and I hope he does. Jamie Jones says we need a more attacking midfielder who isn't afraid to run at defenders and play some ballers, which offer us a different type of attack rather than playing long ball. Feel like we depend on Medine sometimes, but I feel we are better when we keep it on the floor. Yeah, we are, and I think Sonny Carey sort of brings that into the team. I like it. I think we play better when Jordan Gabriel links down that right-hand side with Bowler because he drives the ball forward rather than just hoofing it. I'd love to get Dujon Sterling back. I really would, honestly. That would be great, but I don't know if we can, but I'd love to get him back or somebody of that sort of quality. Tony Allen says a realistic finish for the season, top 6, 8 or 10. I'd love a top 6 finish. I don't know if we can, but I always dream we can. Tony. Stephen Holt says, I think it's time we can take our pints back to our seat instead of rushing it down so you don't miss part of the second half. Is that, I think that's a league sort of rule though, isn't it? I don't think that's Blackpool Football Club. You're not allowed to have beer on the terraces, or they're not allowed to show it. I don't think. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. I don't think that will be down to Blackpool. Stephen Roberts says, I just hope we don't lose against Reading after a good pre-season. Well, we haven't had the good pre-season yet, so we'll have to see. I don't think we will lose against Reading, I'll be honest. John Fothergill says it will be exciting if he plays 4-3-3 as he did in the first half on Saturday. Second half 4-4-2 didn't work as well. Well, I'm sure that's why he tried it, to see how it it did look, and hopefully he will have learned that fact that we do play better. We did play better in the first half than we did in the second. Right, back to the comments. Let me just catch up with these. Michael Stewart Haig says, we are desperate for a goal-scoring midfielder. Just hope Apple can see that, or not scoring enough goals has been our Achilles heel. Well, maybe Matty Virtue can be that man, Michael. We already have him. He's also confident that Maxi will move on at some stage this season. Okay. Ryan Barton says, we've surpassed the season ticket amount from last season with a month to go. Fans are doing their bit. Well, there you go. There is positivity. Luca Rossi says, all right, Lee, it's coming home. Let's hope it is. We sing it everything, and it never does. It should have come home this European, that's for sure. Should have come home then at Wembley. It was shocking what we did against Italy. Stephen Huntley says, do you honestly want to hear anything Critchley has to say now? Probably not. Michael Stewart Haig says, yeah, Sonny Carey was head and heels above any player on the park against Southport. Yeah, he's back. He's going to make such a big difference. He's a great player. He's only going to get better. Jody Coleman said, if you'd have offered me a Blackpool FC in this exact position, manager players a lot during the boycott years, I'd have bit your hand off. Time for some positivity and focus on backing the boys from minute one. Couldn't have said it any better, Geordie. Absolutely. In the boycott years, could we imagine where we are now from what it was looking like, during the not up anymore? I mean, I wasn't even looking at the results on the bloody telly or anything. I was just divorced from it. I just couldn't take it anymore. The Oysters were just ruining my life. I just couldn't take it anymore. And the fact they were suing fans was just that final straw. And we got, down into League Two from the Premier League, and I just was so depressed with it all. And I'm not now. I'm not at all. I'm buzzing about it all. I'm not with you, Michael. I'm not with you on your negativity. I'm not. No, Eugene, I wouldn't like to have VAR on the Championship until they get it right. And I keep saying about VAR, I don't think it should be done the way it is. I think it should be the managers that have a right to challenge. I think they should be allowed, say, 3 challenges each half. And if they're wrong, they lose a challenge. And I think then the managers would only be challenging for things that they thought looked like a definite penalty or a definite handball, or, they were 100% sure it was like a mile offside. And you wouldn't be stopping the game for every single thing and going back and looking at things from it should just be down to the managers to put in their objections, just like a tennis player. Just say, look, no, I want to have that scene. If they get it right, they still got the 3 objections. If they get it wrong, they're down to 2 objections. And I think that is how VAR should run. It's run the complete wrong way around for me. Absolutely wrong. Anyone else getting buffering, says Harry? I don't know. Are you all getting buffering? I don't know. That shouldn't be doing. Oliver Casey has joined Forest Green. Okay. Yeah, Michael Carey could end up being that goal-scoring midfielder that we've been missing. He could, and so could Massey Virtue. He's another one that can score, and we already know he can score from midfield. We've seen it time and time again. Stephen Roberts is going, Red True Barbecue in Leeds on the way to York. It's a great place. If not, it's been highly recommended. Okay. True. I'll mention it to True Barbecue in Leeds. Yeah. Harry's also confirming that Oliver Casey has gone. Right. I think that's it. We've done just over an hour, which was the plan. Hopefully, you guys have sort of, given you my feelings. I'm sorry for those of you that aren't feeling positive about it. I think you've just got to be positive. You've got to believe it's all part of being a football fan. We're a million miles away from where we were under the Oysters. We've got good owners. They're not going to let us go down to League One. I just don't believe they will. I just don't believe it's not in the plan. They're ambitious just like we are, and they will do things if it's not looking great. I'm very confident on that. And I just, we can talk about this over and over again. We've got Leeds coming up. We've got some games coming up. We'll have a bigger indication of how it's going to go then. As I say, I'm going down to FC Blackpool tonight. If you're going down, I'll see you there. Eugene McGee says, see me in the next one yet. Ryan Bart says, the only thing I'm worried about is Appleton getting booed off and slated if he loses a few games. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. We don't know that's going to happen. There's no guarantee that's going to happen. It could all be fantastic with Appleton, and I'm hoping it is. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, come and say hello at games. Anybody, just come up if you want to be on the videos. If you want, if you've got something to say other than a score prediction, you want to, you want to be on the video, then please come up and see me. And I'm always around with my camera. At halftime, we are going to be adding a little feature in this summer where we're going to be doing this season where we're going to be doing food reviews of the food at the grounds we go to. So if anybody's having a pie and they want to give us their opinion on the pie, whether they like it or not, whether it's better than what we have at Bluefield Road, whether the service is good or whatever it is. If we're going to do that little feature at halftime to just have a little bit of fun with that. So again, find me again at the grounds and come up to me if you want to give your opinion on the catering of wherever you are. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go and have my tea. I'm going to get ready for tonight's match. I'm really looking forward to it, and I will see you all. See you all soon. See you all at the game. We'll do more of this sort of chatting about the game, and hopefully it's going to be, great. See you all later. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye. Yeah, I'll still be here, don't you? Right, we are going to be playoffs this season. Michael Stewart says in Lee Charles TV we trust. So we are going to be in the playoff position this season. I just feel it. Harry Wake says very quickly, great show, Lee. If you're going to York go in the Stonesgate pub, it's near the Minster. Ask for Kerry. Tell her Harry sent you. She will look after you. We will do that, Harry. Thank you very much. If you're going tonight, I will see you there. I'm looking forward to it. Forward to seeing some of these young kids and see how they get on against AFC Blackpool. So have a good one. And if you're going to Leeds, we'll see you there as well. See you later, folks. Bye.